People were upset over this clip. This clip started to go viral on Twitter.
Why are they getting upset at that? First of all, it's the truth. Africans come to America, and there's a lot of my African-American friends say, man, a lot of Africans are really mean towards us. They're really nasty towards us because they feel they're better towards us. And I think it's the wrong attitude to take because I'm West African, but I was born here. My friends are African-American and African. I think it's fucked up because here's the thing. Africa, like whether you say Nigerians or Ethiopians, whatever, we were colonized by Europeans, man. We were colonized. We were treated like shit. Look at South Africa. With all the Dutch, they've shit on South Africans, man. And finally, I think South Africans, with the help of Julius Malema and all these, they're trying to take some of their shit back. Dutch people are fucked up towards fucking black Africans. And the fact that a South African, a white South African calls himself African, to me, is fucking ridiculous. Like, you're Dutch, you just didn't leave. How the fuck do you steal African from somebody?
Hello my viewers, I hope this video is going to find you well wherever you are. Whether you are sleeping, studying, you have been sick, and I'm trying to entertain you day by day. So today we have a video about black Americans and the black Africans. You all know that for a very long time these two continents have had hatred towards each other. So today's video we will only be talking about what are these issues and why are they complaining so much. Besides, you have to know that these two ethnic groups have different originalities, yet they all come from Africa. So before that, I just want us to dive into this video, then I'll just come back and explain to you more about these guys.
How do you go? Listen, if I was born in China, Vlad, and I said I'm Chinese, I've lived there my whole life, would you believe me? Would you believe that I was Chinese if I say, listen, and I even have the accent, listen, I'm Chinese, I promise, I've been there all my life. Would you believe me?
Yes, I would.
You would say, I'm Chinese. You would believe I was Chinese. You wouldn't say, hey, you're a black dude. You just happen to be in China.
Third generation Chinese.
No, I was like, no, what if I lived there all my life, I'm Chinese. I go, ni hao, and I speak Taola.
You consider yourself American?
But you would believe I was Chinese, though?
Well, I believe you're American.
Would you say I'm black first? Would you look at me as a black man first? I was like, if
you never open your mouth, first,
if I didn't open my mouth and I'm sitting here like this,
I would first see you as a black person.
You would say there's a black guy.
And then you would open your mouth and
I go, you wouldn't believe that shit. You'd be like, there's a
Chinese black guy.
There's a black dude doing some Chinese shit. I don't know what the fuck that was. But it's like when white South Africans, that's not even real. You're not even genetically an African. The fuck? You don't even live amongst the black ones. It's that same mentality that Africans have when they come to, and I've had relatives, man, I'm not gonna name them. I've had relatives go, oh, we're better than African Americans. I go, no, we're not. Because I was just stopped by the police the other day. And I'm gonna tell you, I used to try to use that African accent, you know what I mean? When police stop me, I say, I'm sorry, officer, what is the problem? I am not the same as them. You know what I'm saying? Listen, I'm not gonna act like, of course there's a slight cultural difference when you're African because you know what it is? In Africa, usually they'll show African Americans in a certain light. So Africans will have...
Listen, for a very long time, we have always had things that we need to know about ourselves. So, one, when you're in Africa, the main primary identifier is your culture or ethnicity. Two, the main primary identifier when you are in European countries is your race. How do I say this? For example, I'm called Okok, and then I have someone here beside me is called Eugene. Okay? So I'll meet Eugene. I greet Eugene, and it's not Eugene, but actually it's called Omondi. Amokot is Omondi. So how do I identify that this guy is from another culture when he says that he's Omondi and Amokot? I'm also from a different culture, but we are all Africans. Now I and Eugene go to Kenya, or we go to Ghana, and we meet a Ghanaian. How do we identify ourselves? Eugene is from Kenya. I'm also from Kenya, but we are all Kenyans. I mean, the second primary identifier is nationality. That is, first you have to know that Eugene is both of us are we identify ourselves as in different cultures, but the next primary identifier is nationality. We are all from Kenya, but this guy who is asking our question is from Ghana or Nigeria. Take all of us, we go to America. How are we going to get identified? One, we meet a white person or a black person. He asks us our name. But first, the first primary identifier is black. You see us like black, that is a race. So the main primary identifier is black. Yes, you know that there's a big differences between these two groups. So first of all, you know, we want to talk about the culture. So culturally, though these people are two worlds, though they share much of the same history, one was ended up in America through the transatlantic slave. Then their history diverged drastically. From there, black Africans experienced loss of autonomy collectively under the colonial rule. But the ancestors of the black Americans experienced loss of autonomy on a different level of with slavery. So you have to know that both these people suffered, but in a different ways. So when you see that black Americans some of them or all of them have retained patches of their originality from African cultures that live in their folks and rhythms and songs, oral traditions. That's why most of these guys have realized that they are coming from Africa, and now they have ended up searching for their ancestral roots here in Africa. But why are they doing this immensely? It's because that in America, white supremacy is the main dominance. So, and out of this, they have blended these two. So I want to talk about the black Africans. On the other hand, they have kept their cultures largely intact, though they have evolved with the times and incorporated some Western influences. They still have their original languages. They still have original social systems like ethnic groups and castes, even after colonizations. So keep in mind that Africa is a huge continent. Black Africans are also different from other black Africans. So when we talk about the Western African alone, it's made up of different cultures. When you go to the Eastern Africa, it's also made up of different cultures. The same to the Southern and the Northern. And when you go to the Western Africans, they have different cultures than these countries, because many believe that they came from Western cultures, not from Eastern cultures. But similarly, I just want to say that if you are a black American who is looking to come to Africa, just find your roots. Many black Americans, you can come from anywhere. Your ancestors can come from anywhere, because you'll have to remember that there's something that is called transatlantic trade, which happened mainly in Ghana, and it is from there that people are being shipped to other European countries. Now, when you go to these two black Africans, you can see that they very different. One is always searching to find her roots and learning all she can about we all believe that it is a Yoruba culture, but you have to find assistance where she came from. One believe that is coming from Nigeria, Ghana, and Cote d'Ivoire, Congo, name these countries, and you learn the languages and diverse. So another doesn't feel, you'll find that another one doesn't feel any connection to the part of the world other than the vast knowledge that they are where the ancestors came from. So you'll find that there are two different black Americans. One is someone who believes that he has his or ancestors' roots in Africa, and then there's another one who believes that he has ancestral roots, or he believes that his or ancestors came from America. So these are two different black Americans. So you find that this guy is very busy finding his own life in the US, and then this person who is very busy finding his oral life in Africa. So Africa is the foreign place to him at all, because he believes that this place is filled with poor culture, poor children, poor infrastructures, and many name them. So yes, black Africans and black Americans are different in many ways, because but also you have to find that there's a very similarities in that they are both human regardless of their cultures, feelings, and what they want and what they need. So if you are a white European or an Inuit or an Indian, for that matter, you love to feel that you love yourself, you love these other ethnic groups, or you hate these ethnic groups. As much as you have to say that there is a much generosity and greedy, searching for the meaning and better lives, humans don't vary that much in the end. Okay, so that's all I wanted to talk about these black Americans and black Africans. But listen, I've got something for you. There's something that we call primary identifiers. How? You'll find that when you are in Africa, how are you identified? You'll be identified through cultures or ethnicity. And when you are in America, how are you identified? The main primary identifier is race. That's all you have to talk about it. The main primary identifier is race. So into these different countries, you will find that even the police, when they see a black person, a white police see a black person, he will believe that this guy is either a thief or is about to do a crime. That is the major thing that these black Americans, these white supremacy, these white people have always believed that black Americans are corroded with bad cultures, bad languages. That's why they don't like people to use that N word. Yes, all I wanted to say about these primary identifiers. In America, it's very different. That's all I wanted to give differences between these primary identifiers. Otherwise, we as Africans, we do appreciate that. We do appreciate these guys from other continents, and we always don't have that issues with tribalism or ethnic group, because we want to welcome these guys in our country. We don't want to feel them less appreciated, because at the same time these guys are really suffering where they are now. Now I don't have much to say to this video, because I just want you to know that the hatred between black Americans and Africans is because that black Americans are these people who have at least advanced in life, and they feel like that the Africans are less important. The same to Africans. So in short, how do you say it? In short, jealousy is the main thing that is making the black and the Africans hate each other, according to my perspective. Otherwise, see you in the next video.